Hi guys, welcome back to my crafting channel and to our project where we are making junky junk journals. Because it started off as one, but I've got that much stuff, I'm doing two. If you haven't seen the previous video, I'll put a link up here and also in the description and pinned comment, so you can go back and have a look at how we enhanced our book covers and how we put some little pockets inside them using things like this, and also little bags, which you'll see in the other one. Now I have done a little bit of prep work off camera, nothing too vigorous or nothing too spoilery. Let me just move those to a side, I'll go through those in a minute. I've tried to keep the contents of both of the journals very similar. Most cases I've duplicated it or doubled up, and each book, each journal will have two signatures. At the moment they've got about 7 or 8 pages in them. It does look a little bit thin, but will be bulking out the journal quite a lot. Each of the 4 signatures, 2 for each book, starts off with a large folded recycled A4 envelope. I've just trimmed it down the side a little bit and taken information off that. You know, we don't want to dox ourselves, do we? So all 4 of the signatures have one of these folded envelopes as like a signature, mini signature cover. Then we've got things like Amazon packing paper. I've got a part of an old like flower magazine. I've only got 2 sheets of this, so I think I've got like 1 sheet in each book. I've got some tea-dyed paper, not exactly junk, but I thought it would fit in quite nicely. This, I don't know if you recognise it, but when you get like plans to make something, like flat pack furniture, that's what that is. I've got Green Party news. I'm not into politics, guys. This kind of politicsy stuff will either be covered up with other paper or it'll be painted over. I've got part of a book all about gardening. I've got a little bit of tatty stuff there, so that makes up like the first signature of that book journal. And then this one, I've got like a book about gardening again, another tea-dyed paper. This is like an advert that came through the door about watches and gold. Amazon packing paper makes excellent pages. A bit of an old ledger book, more packing paper, and we've got a leaflet here. Again, it's probably a politicsy one, but it actually pulls out like that. But we will be covering most of it up with paint or what have you. So that's that one. I was struggling a little bit with this because it's so thick. I don't think I'll be using things as thick as this again. I had to like re-glue it twice, which was a bit of a pain in the bum. So quickly go through the second one. This is the one where we have the belly band bags. And again, we've got the 2 envelopes. That one's got a little bit of damage on it, but when we come to decorating, we'll fix it. Again, we've got like the tea-dyed paper, a leaflet that came through the door. There's the other half of that flat pack. It was indeed a cat tree. Amazon packing paper, music paper, ledger book. So that's one. This one, I say, it will need a little bit of fixing. Again, we've got packing paper, tea-dyed paper, part of a gardening book. We've got an invoice that was sent, another leaflet that came through the door. This is part of an old book. It's got a nice little poem on it. Packing paper, magazine, more of that. So they're quite nice little signatures, but as I say, we will be decorating them all, fixing them up, and bulking them out a lot more. Now, again, with both books, I've tried to keep them very similar, so we've got some additional pieces. This used to be all this black stuff here, used to be a tissue box. There is the top part where you pull the tissues out, and the rest of it is like the sides. Like you got the big sides, the little sides, all made up like a tissue box. Yeah? So all I did was I took it apart, got rid of all the stuff on there, and I've rounded the edges. Same with this. Rounded the edges, put little holes in. And they've all turned them all into nice little tags. I mean, we can decorate them further, but I just loved the pattern on these tissue boxes. So that's what I've done. Lots of little tags we've got with the tissue boxes. And I had 2. So I've done exactly the same thing for the other journal. We've got a couple of receipts. We've got some more pullouts. We've got some seed packets. Because I've been doing a lot of planting of seeds. We've got lots of seed packets. We've got a caramel sweetie wrapper. These are some things that I've just been doing off camera while I've been sat watching telly in the night. It's just a book page. And on that book page, I've doodled. Get close to the camera for you. In focus. I've just coloured it in and doodled pretty things. This is some sample or other of coloured papers. Very nice for decorating. This is something I doodled myself while watching telly. I thought it would be fun because then whoever gets the journal can colour it in themselves. And then I found these, which are like from old colouring books. Again, whoever gets the journal can colour it in themselves. I've got some like old paper from an exercise book. This, believe it or not, this lovely pattern here is from an old envelope. Look at that. Always check your envelopes on the inside, guys, because we've got some amazing patterns to use. So we can use all of that and more in decorating. Oops. Get it all together. Try and keep it together. As you can see with the second book, I've got more or less the same things. Seed packets. But I'm trying to keep them both exactly the same as much as I possibly can. So today what we're going to do is we're going to sew in those signatures into the books, into the journals, get them sewed in. We're going to possibly decorate our pockets up a little bit more and do a little bit more decoration. So here we go. Okay, what I'm going to use to bind these, my own personal choice, is large needles. I have arthritis. I find the eyes on these easier to thread, and I find the length of them to be nice and the strength of them to be nice. And I got them in a pack of 3. Like that. This one's already threaded. I don't know if we're going to have enough on it, but we'll give it a go. I also need some paper clips. You can use bulldog clips, paper clips, whatever you feel like. I have a boning knife. And if you remember from the previous video, we have our template that we used to put the holes in. And I said we'd need this for the signatures as well, and we do. So first of all, with one signature, we're going to get the pages to where you want them to be. Some people like to put them all down the bottom, some people like to get them even. I'm one of those. So I'm going to try and get mine as even as possible. Like that. And I'm going to get my paper clips. Again, guys, you can use whatever you like, paper clips, bulldog clips. I don't particularly have any bulldog clips, so paper clips are just good for me. This is just going to make sure that your pages don't move. Don't do it flat, because if you do it flat when you put these on and you bend them, it'll all go out of whack. So keep your pages kind of bent as you're putting the clips on. so. And then we're going to get our template. I'm going to put that in the middle. And we're going to start with the middle here. And we're just going to stick a hole right through the lot of them. Wiggle it about a bit. That's our first hole put in. Make sure that's still lined up. We're going to go for another one. Give it a little bit of a wiggle. Sure there's a lined up. And then we're going to go for the last one, which is just in there. Oh, that's a bit of a tough one. And a bit of a wiggle. Well, hopefully all these will now line up with our book. So we're going to start with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Hello. We have a visitor. Hello, Barkley. You can just see his paw. Hello, sweet boy. Whiskers. Yeah, Barkley always comes to see us when we're crafting, don't you, darling? Eh? Can I get on? Because I've got a needle in my hand, sweet boy, and you might get poked with it, and I don't want that. Can we get your bum out of the camera? Thank you. So, sorry about that. We're going to start at the middle. Re-push that through. Now, if you've got a journal with 2 or more signatures in, start from the back and then build up from the front. Careful, sweetie. Thank you for your assistance. We're going to match. Barkley, I'm filming, sweetie. I'll come back and do this when he's decided he's going to go again. Okay, so what just happened was I started to carry on from where we left off. Barkley ran across the keyboard and I hadn't noticed he'd hit the home key, which stops recording. So I was being sat here waffling to myself, explaining to how to put a signature in, and it hadn't recorded. And I've got it in. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the second signature together, and hopefully that Barkley pants will not come and disturb us again. Also, because he was with us and causing chaos like he does, because he's a ginger cat, I put my signature in upside down. Now, normally, if I'd done this, I'd unpick it all and put it in the right way up. But it says it's a junky junk journal, guys, and most of this stuff is going to get covered over. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So, again, in through the middle. No cat. Thank you very much. Pull it through. Swizzle it round. Through that hole there. And then through that one there. Pull on it a little bit. Down to the bottom hole. And through our bottom hole here. That's just got caught up. What is this? What is happening? Oh, it's got caught up with the previous one. And on that, there we go. Let's give it a little pull just so it get those straightened out. And then you can see here from the back, we need to go back in through the middle. That's where it gets a little bit awkward. Just takes a little bit of practice, guys, if you've never done it before. Of course, I've got arthritis and stiff fingers. And you can see here, just going to poke it through. Check the back. Must have tightened a little bit. Cut that off. Put our needle away for safety. And you pull it the opposite way, it should get tightened. But what I forgot to do is we put one underneath. So we've got one at either side. You see that? One at either side. Give it a little bit of a tug. Opposite ways. That should be nice and tight. do that. Take off our paper clips. I think one's already come off somewhere. There it is. That way. And as you can see, it's not sitting very well at all, but the back one is sitting nice and flat and perfect. This one is not sitting very well. So this is where our bone knife comes in. And what we're going to do is say hi again to Barkley, because he's coming along again, is we're just going to just do that. Hello, sweetie. We're just going to turn each page and just give it a little bit of a flat right on that crease at the back there. You don't have to use a bone knife, you can use a credit card, you can use your fingers. And I've deliberately put this one upside down as well. I often do this. Get them upside down, and the amount of times I've unpicked them and put them the right way. But for these junky junk journals, it don't really matter. When you're doing yours, just make sure, you know, you get them the right way around. This one I'll be keeping for myself anyway, so I'm not fussed. A bit more on that one. A little bit of a squidge down. It's not perfect, but it's fine. Now, if you remember from the first video, I said I like to leave a nice gap in mine here. And there's a reason for that, and I'm going to show you what it is. These are fixed signatures. What I'm going to do is put a double layer of elastic down the middle, so you can add extra pages in, take them out, add some more in, take them out. And that is why we need a thicker band down the middle. So that's what I'm going to do. Start from that end. Okay, I stopped the video because I was really struggling with pain and my fingers, and I went and asked a friend to help me just finish off getting that getting that elastic in, because I was really struggling with it. So as you can see, we've tied it in here. It's made some little notches at the end, which is totally fine, and then again on the outside you can see it's here, but that looks a bit naff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to decorate that part of it up here. Now we have to think about a closure as well, so I'm going to be using this tatty old thing. It's like got a bit of velcro on the end, which I'm going to cut off. I think it came round like a bale of towels, you know, when you buy new towels or something. I think it came off something like that. So I'm just going to cut those ends off. We don't need it. So it is junk, guys. It definitely is junk. And what we're going to do is just slip it under there, like so. This is going to be our closure. We're going to measure it out so it's exact. Pull it in so it's exact. I'm actually just going to quickly tie it off as well. Oh, my fingers today are really bad, guys. I apologise. So I'm just going to give it a quick little tie for now, so it keeps it in place for what we're going to do next. I have got some lovely embroidery thread, quite junky, because it was left over from something, so it is again junk. And I'm going to keep that straight. What I'm going to do is going to go up through there, pull it through. I'm going to get it all tangled. I've got quite a lot of it. I'm going to keep part of it just to dangle through there. The reason I'm using a needle, guys, is because I struggle with my fingers. So that's going over there. It's going to come back through under here, over there. So it's like a weave. Okay? And this is just a little decoration. We're just going to weave it in and out. What I'm going to do with that actually is just give it a little bit of a pull. Take one of these out. And just give it a little bit of a tie. Just a little bit of a tie off. Struggling today, I apologise guys. It's now tied off. And then we can see if we can go back under here. Over the elastic. Over and under. And we're going to continue to do that. Give it a little bit of a tug. A nice little weave. So once again, we're going to go under this time and over. That's going to take us quite a while to do, guys. So I'm going to speed up a little bit of it for you. And then the rest of it I shall be doing off camera. Nice little weave pattern. Under, over, under. Okay, here we go. Okie dokie, this one I have finished. It's not the neatest job in the world because I am struggling with my hands today. A bit closer to the camera for you. This one I've done tight, the elastic string tight, and then we've done the weave pattern. We've sewn through this piece here so it's completely fixed. And again up to here as the two together. So not the neatest job, but it doesn't matter because that one's going to be mine. A different way you can do it is like this, by keeping your elastic apart and making like a weave like this, and then when you get to here, sewing through on a weave and incorporating like a double weave. And that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to try and do a very neat job. I'm going to do a little bit on camera sped up, and the rest of it I will do off camera at my leisure, so I can make a nice neat job of it. It is a little bit fiddly. As long as you don't pull it too tight when you're doing this part, you should end up with a nice weave. A nice weave spine. It just makes it look a little bit prettier. Now while we're doing this guys, I need to discuss a few things with you. What are we classing as junk and what are we not classing as junk? I mean, you could argue if you wanted to that this is not junk, but I did find it like at what's gone wrong there? At a charity shop for like a couple of pence, whatever. So it was somebody's junk. Might not have been my junk, but it was somebody's junk. Going forward in decoration, are we classing washi tape as bought, or are we classing it as junk? If we're classing it as bought, then we can make our own washi tape with different things, which I think I'd like to do. Although I do have 3 drawers full of washi tape that needs using up. You let me know in the comments, what do you consider junk? Is washi tape not junk? And also stamps, as in ink stamps, not the stamps that you put on letters. Ink stamping, you class that as junk? That's got a bit too tight. Loosen it up a little bit. We're going to class that as junk or not junk. So we need to know these for when we go forward with the decoration. So you let me know in the comments what you consider to be junk. Now when you're doing this at home, guys, you can be as neat as you want, as scruffy as you want. It's entirely up to you. However, I struggle, as you can see, with arthritis, so mine's not going to be very neat. But saying that, over, under, being scruffy and not being neat is the whole aspect of a junk journal, isn't it? And I think being a little bit scruffy just adds to the charm of the junky junk journal. If I was making a journal for sale on eBay, like a perfect journal, then it would be a hell of a lot neater than this. But I think, personally, you let me know in the comments what you think. I'm just checking the camera over now. I think, stand still, sit still, the scruffiness of it and the unperfectness of it adds to its charm. Keep bashing the camera. Little way to go now. I needed to brighten this particular one up because it was quite dark. So I've got this beautiful like rainbow bit of cloth here. And I'm using quite a bright thread to brighten it up a little bit. I think it's looking rather nice. You can always put things like beads and other stuff and things. Sew those in as you're doing it. You can attach them to it afterwards. You do you, guys. I do me. And together, we'll make some beautiful creations. So here is a journal ideas book I make, and every time I see something I want to remember, I put it in here. And the binding I did on this particular one, this is all done with elastic. 2 elastic in the middle, and this is just your bog standard thread. And I've done this one with 2 holes at the top, 2 holes at the bottom. If you look inside there, the elastic is holding in the signatures. So these signatures, I can pull out any part of this I fancy and replace it. Same with this one. Again, elastic, and these 2 in the middle are just this, what is pink, like pink butcher's thread. So I can even attach some more in the middle if I wanted to. So what I did was I ran the elastic through that way, and then some of this, and on the middle 2 pieces of elastic I did that thready pattern. Just there. So that gives you another idea of what else you can do to bind your books. So in today's video, for a little recap, we managed to get our signatures in to our journals. We've put our closures on. So we've got 2 signatures. It's upside down. Everything's upside down. We've got our 2 signatures into our journals with extra space, adding more pages if we need to. Nice closures that are fixed on with a binding. I might chop that off actually. If I can't tuck it in later, I'll chop it off with some nice weaved bindings. That's that one. And then we did this one with the closure. With our two signatures. Our extra bit in the middle. This one, again, extra. With a nice different kind of binding with the weave on the back. So there you go, guys. In our next video, we'll be looking at decoration. We'll start to pad out our pages and decorate them. And these will go from being pretty thin to being nice and bulky. Something on the lines of this one. Because this one is exactly the same thickness. And you can see how fat and chunky he is. Or she is. Let's not misgender the journal, huh? So there we go, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you find this video very, very interesting, as I do. If you've got any hints, tips or tricks, please leave them in the comment section below. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Happy crafting.